As a child growing up in Worcester, Massachusetts, Jeff Greene shoveled snow and worked an 86-house paper route for the local newspaper. In college at Johns Hopkins, he worked part-time jobs ranging from teaching Hebrew to checking IDs outside the library. To pay his way through Harvard Business School, he traveled the country as a circus promoter. Money that he later invested into 3-bedroom houses in a town near Boston, his first foray into real estate. Disaster struck with the real estate crash in the early 1990s, but Greene managed to scrape by. Then, in 2006, he made an audacious bet against the housing market, buying credit default swaps on subprime mortgage-backed bonds. The ensuing collapse earned him a windfall of $800 million, which he plowed into prime property in Palm Beach. It also made him a billionaire. Forbes now estimates his fortune at $7.5 billion, much of it concentrated in South Florida, Los Angeles and New York. Forbes spoke with Greene about his knack for surviving crises and his risk-averse approach to investing. Forbes: how did you get your first start in investing? Jeff Greene: the way I got into real estate was kind of by accident. I was accepted to Harvard Business School in the spring of 1977, and then I needed a place to live and I wanted to move into Soldiers Field Apartments, which was a beautiful modern complex. I'd already been out of college almost 3 years. I didn't want to live in a dorm and I didn't get into that apartment, it was full. So a guy who I'd gone to Johns Hopkins with, I asked him, "What do you do?" He'd gone to Harvard a year before me. He said, "Well, what I did is I bought an old 3-family house out in Somerville, the next town to Cambridge. And you can buy one and you can live in one of those, rent out the other 2 and it'll probably cover all your costs. You get a mortgage for 80%, so you'll live rent-free for 2 years and get your money back so you won't have any rent." So I did that. I bought one of these 3-family houses, and I had worked after college and made $100,000 as a circus promoter. So this house was $37,000 with $7,000 down. I got accepted to the apartment complex, but I thought, I already bought the house, so maybe I'll rent out all 3. So I ended up thinking, wow, I'm making a 30% return, I've got to get more of these. By the time I finished at Harvard Business School, I had 18 properties in this little town, Somerville, and the markets went way up. And my $100,000 cash was already a $1 million net worth. I was not even 25 and I was suddenly in real estate. Forbes: how would you say your investment strategy has changed or evolved over the years? What's your strategy like today? Greene: well, it changes as you go through the cycle of life. Starting out, I made my first $100,000 and then my first million. Then you think, I'd like to make another million or $10 million, then $100 million. You want to keep buying and building and growing.